Steel, heart of fire, vanquish doom, death inspire, blood moon rises, screams ignite, battle fierce, endless night.
A bag of
Hello,
holding,
everyone.
walk.
We were talking about bags of holding. So this is just in case chat wanted to get caught up. We were talking about bags of holding and then what happens when you put an extra dimensional space within an extra dimensional space. Bad things all the time, always. But we are back with more Curse of Strahd. When we last left our heroes, they had found the town of Balaki. A town that happened to be along the road to where they needed to go. And the town itself was a little strange. The burgomaster's son made himself known to the party, showed some great interest in the shape of Jymbo's rabbit-like head, and encouraged the party to join them for the next festival. The party only wanted to resupply and head on out, and that seemed to be what they were aiming to do. Jymbo found himself a little uneased by the comments made from the burgomaster's son, and in response went knees to chest running out of the town, I'm pretty sure, along with Araza. And that left Warren, Sorin, and Grimm to linger about within the town to get their provisions and get the heck out of Dodge as well. Things went a little smoothly at first. Sorin used his new familiar to lurk around and inspect a rather strange-looking wagon that held something much larger inside of it. And Warren and Grimm came to encounter the enforcer, as it were, who encouraged them to show up to the festival, or else they would be donkey heads. The brute does not seem that he is going to be very forgiving or give way, and stands there menacingly in front of Warren. And that's where we're going to pick up. Warren, you see this large lumbering oaf in front of you. At his back are about 5 or 6 guards. What do you do?
I'm standing my ground, and I'm kind of like rolling up my sleeves a little bit again to like about my elbows, and I say to him and the guards, how do the guards behind him look, by the way? Like, do they look neutral? Do they look uncomfortable? Like, what's their demeanor?
Go ahead and make me a quick insight check while you're assessing the situation, Val.
A 9?
They look like guards doing their job.
That's just about as bad as anything. Now, as you mentioned earlier, the burgermeister of the town, did he say, like, I'm trying to recall like his exact wording, because this guy was there with the burgermeister, right? See, the current time of day is like what, like early afternoon, and
yes.
What time does the festival start? Like at around that same time, or is it like a bit later?
It's gonna be starting probably within when make another perception check for me, because they've got posters that they've put up all over the place now.
These and crackers, a 6.
6. It's going to be starting soon. From the demeanor of the gentleman in front of you.
I just like try to collect my thoughts here, and I'm like, listen, once we get our things, because we can't join a festival with rations and things of that nature. Our wagon is just outside of town. Just let us drop off our load, and we will come right back. You can even come with us if you don't believe us. But, how can we enjoy a festival with us being over encumbered by our purchases?
What's encumbered?
Me carry too much. Me go to wagon outside gate. Drop off stuff. Come back. Go to festival.
You see one of the guards walk up to the big guy and nudge him, motion him down real quick, and whisper something into his ear. And then you see the look on the big guy's face. He looks a little perturbed. Hey, you making fun of me? I'ma hit you. You're making fun of me.
I take my hand and I'm like rubbing my temples, and I say to him, and I'm really trying my best to keep a level head. It's like, I am just trying to tell you our plan. Again, we have too many things for us to properly enjoy this festival. We see the posters, we see the people getting ready, we paid for our goods, and our money goes back to your town. we're just
He's
going to
talking
drop
too
off
much, and then he swings at you. He swings at you,
Oh,
Can I
Warren.
attack him?
He's swinging first.
I think, do I have a reaction?
If you've got one, you
Like,
can you can use it, but it's only a reaction. And I rolled a 19 on the die, and he's got like a +7, so that's 26.
When he swings, because I got a psychic link up with, I think, Araza, Jymbo, and Warren.
Okay.
I can't remember how long I have it lasted. It's between
I could
1 and 8 hours.
I could say it's still connected. You're still connected.
Yeah. I'll just say to them, I think we're getting in a fight. Everything is probably going wrong, so you might want to get in here or stay out for us to run to you.
Can I use one of my superiority dice to do a grapple to try to just catch his swing?
Okay, are you able to do that as a reaction?
It just says maneuvers enhance an attack in some way.
Okay. In this instance, I would ask, would Warren be anticipating this guy swinging at him?
I would say yes, because Warren rolled up the sleeves of his tunic, because
Okay.
that's what he always does before a fight. He's, he tried to be diplomatic about it.
Okay.
But
Well, like I said, he rolled a 19 +7 for a total of 26. I need you to roll to see if you can hit him first. So go ahead and roll.
just a strength.
No, just an attack, because then you'll be grabbing his arm if you successfully attack.
$18. Wait,
Okay.
hold on. Yeah, it's the +6 is added to there. I don't think I could use my inspiration, can I?
You can.
But that just re-rolls it. It doesn't add anything to it.
Right. It
It's
doesn't
not
add
like
any-
Blaster.
it's not like a bardic inspiration or a guidance or anything that you get to add to that either.
Fuck it, I'll take the hit.
Okay.
I'll do my best to block it, but fuck it.
Okay. So he swings at you, and it's a mighty hit because this guy is kind of unnaturally big. Oh. Okay. That is 15 points of damage as his fist collides squarely with your jaw. And you've been hit before, Warren. You fist fight. This is what you do. And this guy hitting you that hard, he should not be this strong. He should not be this strong. But he hit you squarely in the jaw. He's like, "You gonna come or what? You coming? Or I got to drag you." Now, because you rolled to beat his hit, but you can also hit him with that. With your 18, you will definitely hit him. Is that what you want to do? Did we disconnect?
Val wants to.
Huh?
Val wants to, but again, Warren's just remembering Jymbo's reaction to this town. It's like, again, we're just passing through. We don't want any trouble. So it's like, if we just play along with their stupid, shitty festival, then we're going to have to, just to get this guy to leave us alone. So I sit up and I just kind of wipe. I'm sure I've got blood.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, no. I'm not going to wipe the blood. I'm gonna spit it at his feet, but I'm gonna say, first of all, that was rude. Second of all, we were going to go. Again, we're gonna make our way to the wagon and then we're gonna go. That's it. And I look at him and I look at the guards behind him. It's like, again, if you don't believe us, you can escort us. We're just gonna go to our wagon, drop off our stuff, and come right back.
You see the guards leaning over and they're whispering to one another again. But they're not whispering to the big guy this time because the big guy's just kind of like staring you down. And it's like when a wild animal is like staring down some prey or another wild animal, and they're just breathing and trying to kind of posture themselves physically. But that's just kind of what he's doing to you there, Warren. Meanwhile, Grimm, you do have your psychic link open with everybody and you tell them what's going on.
I'm actually going to drop that psychic link, use one of my psychic energy dice to cast it again, and this time I'll just have Araza, Warren, and Sorin hooked up, and that will be for 1 hour.
Okay.
And I'll say to Araza, okay, we might be gaining a fight. We're trying to head back to the cart and kind of keep her in touch wherever that is. And then I'll ask Sorin, it's like, we might be gaining a fight. We're trying to head to the cart to maybe escape or get out of here. Where are you? And if need be, for you to just like hide and try to escape yourself.
I will respond to him saying that I'm over here in the back side of the stockyard where we just was, and I was going to unlock the cage, but hearing this, could I possibly just get to where I'm like peeking around the corner and I can see them?
Yeah, you could. Are you trying to do it stealthily? You said you're just trying to peek around.
Nope. I'm going to cast invisibility on myself.
Okay, fair enough.
All right, so that is cast. And I'm going to basically do the exact same thing, peek around to where I see them. Where are they at in means of... So on the map, are they like right... I don't know where it's at. Is this the stockyard?
Yeah, let me move the big guy. Let me get the big guy off of there real quick.
Okay.
That way you guys can see. So you guys are this was the big stockyard building here. This is the
Okay.
one, and then the cart was down this way. Where they are is right about here.
Okay. And is this area, is this like the market?
Yes.
Okay. So, peeking around, I'm going to cast Major Image
Okay.
and have a manticore appear around like right around here, and then just start attacking the market square, kind of like as a diversion.
Okay.
And my question is, where is Jymbo and Araza? Are they outside the gate or are they still within the gate?
You guys were just getting ready to like leave the... Well, no, I would say that the time that they spent in the market, you guys were at least able to make it outside the gate.
Okay. Can I make a... And I'm assuming I got some of this, that there was trouble.
Uh-huh.
Did I get relayed that there's a fight going on?
I would say so, because Grimm had mentioned that before and then cut off the psychic link and then reestablished it.
Okay, can I make a perception to see what the gate is made of?
Yeah. You don't even need to make a perception. It's made of iron. It's an iron gate. Like
okay,
iron
so it's
bars.
definitely not flammable.
No, it's iron bars.
Is it surrounded by brush or trees or anything, or is it completely cleared out?
Well, the palisades are made of wood. The palisades are made of wood and stone. Like there's like stone areas in between, and then it's just wooden palisades all the way around. So that would be flammable.
Yeah, if I chucked 8 alchemist fire, would they go up?
I would say yes.
I want to create a distraction.
Okay. All right, so we have a manticore, air quotes, a manticore, and a and a fire. Okay. All right, let's go. So let's resolve the manticore first, and then we'll resolve the fire, and then we'll come back to Warren and Grimm. So, major image. It has
Yes.
the sounds, the smells. It is, it for all intents and purposes, it is a real creature. Other than the fact that it's an illusion.
Yes.
So, what do you have it do? You have it? Do you just have it menace the marketplace, or?
Not gonna lie, I did not exactly think about this, but sure, I'm gonna have it start acting like it's going to start killing people.
Okay.
And then hopefully getting the attention of the big guy and the other knights. And then at that point, we just book it.
Okay. So I'm going to make a roll here because the big guy is really, really dumb and not very perceptive.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So the 6 guards that are behind him see what's going on easily, and they're like, hey, there's a monster. And then they run past Warren and the big guy, and the big guy is still kind of like breathing heavily, his shoulders like going up, and he's not paying attention to any of it, the big guy. But the guards are gone. They're going towards the town square, and they're trying to like poke at this with pikes, but they're keeping their distance. They're not even making contact with it to know that it's not an illusion. At the same time, Goldie, do you want to go ahead and roll the damage for those alchemist fires?
Okay. How many? Oh gosh, let me look at the description.
It'll do 1d4 fire damage at the start of each of its turns.
Okay, so 8d4.
Yeah. It's not
I
bad.
cast poor man's fireball.
Poor man's fireball. Do you throw it at the same spot, or do you like kind of space it out along the palisade? Like how I kind of need an idea,
Let's say they all land, because realistically, I don't think Jymbo could do more than like a 10 by 10 kind of circle. So yeah, within like 10 feet, so a 10-foot section of the palisade.
Okay, 10-foot section of the palisade. Let's do some fiery scribbles here. You kind of like That's more than 10 foot from what I've scribbled on, but that's where it kind of catches. And then we've got an angry manticore somewhere in here. The palisade starts to go up. There's fire, there's flame. Some people have just noticed only because of the smoke, and you hear someone, Sorin, you and Warren hear people calling for help, saying that there's a fire from over this way. Araza, you see Jymbo kind of he just casually throws the alchemist fire to to help spark the a distraction. What do you do?
I am casually ignoring the alchemist fire and going, that's lovely scenery, don't you think so, Basilka? Mm-hmm. Rusty, what do you think?
You're right, it's pretty nice, yeah. And he's also ignoring it, like.
Yep, we'll just wait for our friends, they'll make it out here and then we can head on out.
Okay. So you're waiting there with Rusty and Vasilka while Jymbo takes the initiative to cause the distraction. Sorin, you are still invisible because Major Image does not drop your invisibility. At least I don't think so. Or do you have to concentrate on it? No, you do have to concentrate on it.
Okay.
But you're still around that corner, so the guards are focused on that. Grimm and Warren, what are the two of you doing? You hear the guards panic and they say something about a monster, and then they run.
I'll follow Warren's lead.
Okay. So Warren, what are you doing?
Well, I mean, I go to get up because I'm sure I was still seated from that hit, and it's like with all the stuff going on, I look to the guard guy. It's like, hey, listen, you better follow your buddies and see what's going on. We're heading to the festival, but I don't. There's stuff going on. Like, there's...
And he just continues to leer at you.
We will go to the festival. Like, I'm just looking at him like, we'll go.
Okay, you go. And he stares down at you some more, and then he goes to like offer you his hand to help you up. He offers to help you up, Warren.
I'm thinking. I'll offer. I'll accept his offer if he's trying to be cordial about it.
Okay. You take his hand, and you notice that his hand is horribly blackened, as if it had been horribly, horribly burned. And he yanks you up, and he kind of like pats you down really roughly, like he's not used to patting people down to get the dirt off of them. And then at this time he notices that there's a manticore, because now he's no longer angry at you. One of the other guards comes running from the gate closest to where Jymbo has set this fire. He's like, Isaac, there's a fire. there's a fire along the palisade. And he goes, fire? I didn't start no fire. And he looks over and he sees the smoke. And he's like, and he lumbers off. And he lumbers off in that direction. Meanwhile, the other guards are like, Isaac, help us! There's a monster! And, you know, he doesn't know which way to go. And he just... Go ahead. Go ahead, Sorin.
I'm going to have the manticore start running out towards the main road.
Okay.
And going up this way.
All right, so the manticore breaks, quote unquote, breaks free of the guards, and it kind of like flies over them just out of pike reach. Let me see. I gotta see if they notice it, because someone's bound to have poked it at least once on accident. There's 6 of them. Never mind. No, they watch it fly, and they're poking at it, but they're afraid to poke it. It's like, you don't want to poke a wild animal. You don't know how dangerous this thing is, especially one that doesn't look like a normal wild animal. It's a manticore. It's a lion with a man's face and wings and a scorpion tail. Looks terrifying. So they're panicking. As it flies overhead, other people, like the old couple who was manning the stockyard, they duck inside and close the door. Other people that are in the markets, they scatter and they're screaming. So now there's panic everywhere. There's people panicking about the fires, people panicking about this manticore, and the big guy, one of the guards spins him around and faces him towards the direction in which you're guiding the manticore, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get me that one," and he boom, 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 boom. He's running really, really hard, like super heavy footsteps, and just takes his leave, like towards this way, following after the manticore.
I'm going to say to, what is his name? Grimm. I'm going to say, Grimm, we should probably get out of here. If I can do that with the telekinetic thing.
Yeah, you've got a psychic link with him, so yes, you can.
I'll respond and be like, yep, let's go. Time to go. Run away.
Yeah. I don't know how long my magic will keep that big guy occupied, so.
Oh, that was you. Nice.
Yeah.
I'm like rubbing my jaw a bit just to see if anything was loosened up or if anything needs fixed.
You definitely need fixed up. your jaw aches. You haven't been hit that hard since a cow kicked you.
Cow's smarter too.
Yeah, probably.
I'd like to say in the psychic link to Grimm, yeah, you guys can just hurry it up a little. There's a fire at the gate. Just to let you know.
Okay. So Grimm, Warren, Sorin, you guys scramble down whatever roadways or behind homes, whatever you have to do to get towards the gate. You get there, the gate is shut. The gate is shut. The guards that are manning the gate are trying to put out the fire. That's about a 30-foot high wall.
Is it locked?
The gate? Yeah, the gate's locked.
Yes. Can I go up to it and cast knock?
Yes, you can. you may go up to it. Yes, you can.
Okay.
Sorin, you run up to the gate, and probably natural intuition in dealing with these closed-minded people of Vallaki. They keep their gates closed. They don't want to let anyone in. They you already have the assumption that you need to have the knock spell ready. You run up and you cast knock as you approach the gate. Now, it does emit a loud sound, but among the panic, roll me a percentile. Roll me a D100. Roll me a D100 there, Sorin. We're gonna see if anyone hears it and pays attention.
Do I also need to roll a D10? I've never rolled one of these, so.
Okay, so you'll roll. You can just go in the chat of of Roll20 and just type /R 1D100 and then it'll roll it.
Okay. R.
Four. Okay.
Okay.
There's a 10% chance that somebody notices, and that's within 10%. So, anyways,
Can I use my inspiration?
you know, I will let you use your inspiration on this. It's to reroll a die. I didn't say which die, so yeah, you can use it you can use it for that. 46. Okay, much better. So you roll, and you cast knock, and the sound echoes out. Jymbo, Araza, Rusty, Vasilka, and obviously your party members, everyone hears that. They hear the loud, like, oh, and the gate swings open. The guards don't, because they are currently in a state of, we need to protect what's within the walls. The three of you come scrambling out, running as hard and as fast as you can. And you see the wagon over there. Tom is ready to go. Vasilka's sitting in the back of the wagon with Rusty. So you see Araza and Jymbo. So what do you guys do?
I will take out the 60 arrows that I bought for Jymbo and go, here you go, I got you the arrows. Now, let's take off.
Do we hear the commotion going on inside the...
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes. There is no mistaking that there is... because Major Image imitates the sounds of the creature, there sounds like there's a large lion roaring in town. You hear the crackling of the fire. You hear the panicked screams of guards and citizenry alike. And then you also hear the loud knock as the spell is cast.
Well, shopping was eventful. I look at the three. All right, then.
Yep.
Let's go.
I'm gonna say I don't want to stay for this festival. It just seems a little too wild for my my taste.
Too wild for Jymbo. So, go on.
As soon as we start going, I'm going to break concentration on Major Image. Just have it vanish.
Okay. You'll never know the state of confusion you've left the people of Vallaki in, Sorin. You'll never know, because you can't see through the illusion's eyes. But given the state that the village was left in, and the general demeanor of the people there, you're pretty sure it was not hard to confuse them. So they're probably left more confused than what they were before. You guys gather up in your wagon and you take off as quickly as possible.
Once I know that we're for sure a decent enough distance away from Vallaki, I look to Araza and I just ask her very politely. It's like, could you give me a bit of a fix here? And I point to my face because I'm sure it's like inflamed and maybe even starting to yellow a bit from quick bruising.
From where he hit you, his fist was large enough to hit you in both jaw and beneath your eye, so you're probably gonna have a shiner at some point, if not healed, obviously.
Wouldn't be the last time.
Did somebody try to cut your head off and miss?
What did you do, Warren?
What did I do? What did I do? Do you remember that big goon that was with the I totally blanked on the Burgermeister's son. You remember that guy?
Vaguely, yes.
He punched me harder than a mule kick.
Oh.
Yeah, he was trying to give us the shakedown about going to that damn festival.
Oh wow.
And did you see the people in stocks with the donkey hats on your
Yes.
way out?
Yes.
Those are people that didn't want to do the festival.
Gotcha.
So that could have been us.
Responding to your questions as I reach my hand out to your face and I give you back 12 hit points.
Thank you kindly.
Like, that sounds like it hurt a lot. Don't think I can quite get rid of that bruise just yet, but yes.
No, that's fine. It'll take care of itself.
I can at least try and realign your jaw.
Yeah, that would be very appreciated.
I know that this might come as some surprise, but that place gives me a bad feeling.
Oh yeah.
I put a
Yeah.
hand on your shoulder, Jymbo, and I just I just look at you for a moment. It's like I will always trust your judgment, Jymbo.
Can I roll a perception check to make sure no one's like trying to follow us from Vlach?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and make one. Actually, anyone is welcome to make one if you're concerned that someone's going to be following you.
I will do that.
I got a 17 and I used the psychic energy die.
Okay.
23.
23. Okay.
I got a 19 plus 5, so a 24.
Okay.
I got a 22.
All these big numbers.
I'm just staying still so Araza can help realign my jaw, so I'm sitting this check out.
Okay, fair enough. You all take a glance back at the Svalich Road as it curves, and you guys keep your wits about you, and you don't see anyone in immediate pursuit. You don't see anyone in immediate pursuit. But given that it was early afternoon when you guys left Vallaki, you've got a little bit of traveling to go. So, do you stay on the old Svalich Road, I assume? Because traveling in the wilderness would be dangerous.
I think we would stick to the road.
Okay.
I am going to cast Mage Armor on myself.
Very good.
Seeing as how we're back in the wilds.
All right. You guys continue for a while, and by nightfall, you see off in the distance, as you traverse this slow winding mountain path. It's almost like just through the foothills. The old Svalich Road, it transitions to a lazy trail that hugs the mountainside as it descends into a small fog-filled valley. And in the heart of the valley, you see a walled town near the shores of a great mountain lake. Its waters still and dark. A branch in the road leads west to a promontory, atop which is perched a dilapidated stone windmill. Its warped wooden vanes are stripped bare.
How long did it take us to get here?
Probably a couple hours. It took you a couple hours to get there.
Could I have used my arcane recovery
Yes.
and gotten it back? Okay, awesome.
Yes. Anything that you would have been able to do in terms of like a short rest ish. You're traveling by cart. You're not doing anything stressful or strenuous. Unless, obviously, if I don't jump you with with bad guys, then you're assumed to be able to get at least a little bit of a rest in. So, like, if you need to spend hit dice on a short rest to get hit points back, if you have abilities that replenish on a short rest, you would get those back. But yes, as you travel along, you see that there's a windmill off to the side. And the sun is down by this point.
Do y'all want to camp at the windmill tonight?
Yeah, let's check it and make sure nothing's going to try to kill us in there.
Graham, would you like to do your sneaky stuff and check it out?
Yeah, might as well. I will try stealthily sneak up there so no one could see me. Jeez. I'll use this. 9. That's a 18.
Okay. You guys keep your wagon parked a little ways down on that little path, and you let Grimm kind of work his way up towards the windmill itself. This onion-domed edifice, it leans forward and to one side as though it's trying to turn away from the sky itself. The gray brick walls and dirt-covered windows on the upper floors, and there's a decrepit wooden platform that encircles the windmill above a flimsy doorway that leads supposedly to the building's interior. And perched on a wooden beam above the door is a raven. The raven does not seem to have noticed you, Grimm.
Okay, is there like a stone on the ground or anything that you could like pick up and toss like on the opposite direction that I'm at to see if the raven like moves towards it or anything like that?
Yeah, you can. Go ahead. Just make like a ranged attack to just like throw it.
Would I be adding like for like my psychic energy blades, or
you
add my proficiency?
Just add your proficiency plus your dex, and then unless you're adding a psychic die to it, but I don't see you adding a psychic die to throw a rock.
Yeah. 6. That's a 14.
14. Okay. You throw the rock and it clatters off against some of the dry ground, and the raven quickly turns its head, and it hops along the beam above the door, but it doesn't leave the beam. It just kind of like hops over towards that direction and looks over that way.
Okay. I will sneak up to the door and check it for if there's any traps on it.
Okay. You're sneaking further up to the door?
Yep.
Okay. Make me one more stealth check, please.
There we go. That'll be a 23.
23. Again, the raven does not seem to notice you as you creep up to the door. But as you approach the door, you notice that there is the delectable smell of something baking that is wafting through the door itself and out towards you.
Okay, I'll use another psychic energy die to cast the psychic link. And I'll just go warn Araza, and let's go Jymbo. and I'll let them know. It's like, okay, I smell like something's baking in the windmill. And there's a raven just perched on a beam that didn't fly away when I made a noise somewhere. Do you want me to just, you guys want to come up and knock on the door, or do you want me to see if there's any windows I could see into the windmill?
Um,
I asked-
remember when we went to the one winery and there were the family that lived there could turn into ravens? Could that be one of them?
That's what I was thinking too. I look at Warren and I ask out loud, well, should we go knock?
Wait a second. Does it smell like regular food that's cooking, or does it smell like cursed food?
How do you know what cursed food smells like, Jymbo?
I mean, it's got a very, I don't know. Listen, I don't know these things.
Okay, Jymbo, I want you to roll me a D100. I want you to roll me a D100, please.
$13.
Okay. Given your experience with what you've been through over the last couple days, whether it's been dinosaurs or monsters or ghouls or twig people, everything's cursed. So the food has to be cursed.
Yeah, I'm going to say that that's probably cursed food. We probably should not go in there. Like, I'm not an expert on curses, but I am, and I say that's curse.
What if I were to purify it for you?
I guess that would be okay. Jymbo
Can I
is
see any
hesitant.
windows?
Yeah, the windows are covered in dirt.
So I can't really peer through them.
I mean, you could try to clear the dirt away from your side, and it might give you a little bit more of an insight of what you're seeing on the inside, but it's not going to be very, very clear. What I'm saying is, yes, you can do that, but it's going to be difficult to see exact details and things like that.
Without cleaning the window, would I be able to see like
No.
movement?
No.
Okay. I could always try like I could grab like a rock or something and be farther away, hidden, and throw a rock at the door and see what opens up.
Okay. Go ahead and throw another rock for me. Now I'm assuming that with the psychic link established, nobody else has approached the windmill, correct? Grimm is the only one who's up there, right?
Yes, as far as I know, nobody else has approached.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't approached.
No, Jimbo's not going to get anywhere near haunted food.
I rolled a dirty 20.
A dirty 20. And you're throwing the rock at the door?
Yeah, I want to like hit the door.
Throw the rock and it hits the door. This is enough to startle the raven, and the raven flies and flaps its wings, and it heads off towards the northeast, or to the northwest. Sorry, it heads northwest. As that happens, you hear like the clattering of kitchen utensils, and you hear some clumsy footsteps as the door swings open, and there is this old woman, stoop-shouldered, kind of hunched, skin pulled taut over her bones. Her hairs is pulled up into like this big messy hive.
Oh, who's there? What's going on out here?
And she's looking around.
How far is our cart from her front door?
It's way down the line. Like you
Okay.
you would still like she can't see it from there, at least not that you understand or that you would know.
Hello?
Gotcha.
Who's there? We don't have any pies. I just put some in the oven.
Can I do a perception check to see if she looks unusual? Or just like an old lady?
You are too far away to perceive her.
Oh, okay.
The only one who's able to hear this right now is Grimm, and then she kind of calls out. So you guys at your cart hear an elderly feminine voice, but that's all that you're able to really see. You see like the silhouette of a figure. She doesn't have a torch or anything lit. The only illumination is coming from inside the windmill, as kind of like a backing light on her. But details are very hard to discern at this point.
I'll be relaying to everyone in the psychic link everything that I'm seeing, what she said and everything. Do I notice anything strange about her?
You can make a... Okay, do you want to visually see if there's anything strange about her, or do you want to see if her demeanor is different? Because that would be two different checks.
Can I do both?
You can attempt both, but you got to tell me which one you're doing first.
I'll do both. I will do the perception first.
Okay.
And that was a 17.
Okay, she's an old lady.
And then the next one will be an insight, right?
Yes.
That will be a 12, and I had to use psychic energy die.
Okay. She just appears to be curious as who's throwing rocks at her door. It's so late at night.
It's dangerous out there. Oh, all right.
And she hobbles back inside and closes the door behind her.
I'll head back to the group and kind of relay everything I saw and see what they want us to do.
Okay.
I mean, I don't trust it because that was clearly a curse smell. Plus, do people live in windmills? I thought they were just for making like wheat into the powdered wheat. Yeah, that's what we call it.
Flour?
Powdered wheat. Yeah.
Flour?
No, flowers are things that grow in the ground. I'm talking about powdered wheat.
No, it's FLOUR. That's a different type of flower. It's called a homophone.
I want to make a telephone joke, but I can't because you know. So just pretend like
feel
I didn't
free to
say
be
that.
anachronistic, Jymbo. You've already suffered some mental trauma. It's fine. You can be anachronistic for a moment.
But anyhow, Jymbo is of the opinion that it's weird that someone is living in a windmill.
As being someone who's kind of like a native to Barovia, can I make a history check on this windmill?
You can. You can.
Oh, awesome. Ooh, which dice? This one. Oh, that's a natural 20 for a 27, my friend.
Okay, well, fantastic. With a natural 20. You're familiar with this mill. The mill itself had been overseen by the Durst family. The Durst family was a very prominent noble family. They did have connections to other members of nobility within Ravenloft. And with the Nat 20, you know that it was the Durst family that kind of had a run-in with Strahd. They weren't necessarily good with Strahd, so them owning this mill, they helped produce pastries and wheats and other such things for the people of Barovia, whether it would be like the town of Vallaki, Berez, the village of Barovia itself, Kresk, pastries, breads, basically, you know, any milled goods could be made here and were distributed. And the Durst family is a family that you haven't heard in a long time. Obviously, you've been basically in torpor for 100 years, so you're not sure if they still own the windmill itself, or if these ladies or if this lady is a descendant of the Dursts or works for the Dursts. But they're connected to a prominent noble family within Barovia.
Fun fact about the Durst family, on their coat of arms is a large stone, and underneath it says, we must keep rolling, rolling, rolling.
I appreciate the Limp Bizkit reference.
Oh my god.
Goldie.
Could I have oops, sorry.
No, it's fine. Continue.
So we saw this woman, correct?
You couldn't make out her details. The only one who was close enough to make out the details was Grimm, because he was actually up at the windmill. Where your wagon was, she couldn't see your wagon. And if she couldn't see your wagon, she couldn't necessarily see you guys. So you're like further down on the path.
Would she be 120 feet away?
Further.
Oh, okay. Well, traps. Never mind. All right. And I will relay that to everyone.
I will describe the old lady to Sorin to see if maybe he could recognize her or anything.
Sorin, you're given a full description of this old woman. And she doesn't sound familiar. Because if she is just an old woman, then you wouldn't have known her in your lifetime. Because humans don't live that long.
Okay.
So what do you guys do?
We're looking for Madame Eva, right? But
yes.
Does she live in a windmill, or does she lives in a wagon, right?
Yeah. Like all the Vistani, they travel by wagon.
So this old lady is not the old lady we're looking for, most likely.
That is correct.
No.
But she is a bonus old lady.
Could we at least let her know that we are just going to be camping nearby? That way she's not too startled.
You probably should go up and say hello.
Yeah, she was baking food. They have food in the oven. She even said when she walked out, it's like, I don't have any pies yet, but I got some in the oven. So we could go in, might get some free food. Maybe a little better. We could even camp out around the mill, and in case she's a very bad old lady, there's 5 of us and 1 of her. I think we'll be okay.
Are you suggesting that we beat up an old lady? because I do agree. I don't know what happened to my accent. I'm sorry.
No, it's all right, but I would think that it would startle Jymbo enough. It's like, are we gonna beat up an old lady with? Then he just loses
No.
it.
We don't have to. I have sets of manacles. We could just handcuff her to the windmill, and when we go to leave, we unhandcuffed her.
What?
Why
In
would
the
we handcuff her in the
absolute-
first place?
Why? She's just an old lady.
Yeah, and Strahd is how many thousands of years old, for one. Two, we got teleported to Barovia via going to sleep by some carts. So I don't think someone's an old lady really means much.
Wait, you think that Catman is that old lady in disguise?
You never know.
That would explain the cursed cooking. Good thinking. I'm against this.
Okay.
We could just see what it is. If it's all good, then we have a better place to sleep. If it's all bad, we'll deal with it. Or we just camp farther away from here and not worry about anything.
You do that as well.
Or you could travel through the night. You know, it's safe at night.
Well, how is Tom? How's Tom the horse feeling? Does he want to keep going?
Tom can keep going. He's a sturdy horse. I mean, he wouldn't mind a rest, but he can keep going.
Like, is it already dark, or is
Oh
it
yeah,
like...
it's dark. The sun is down. The sun is down. By the time you left Vallaki, so again, our little map here, you guys left Vallaki, and then you followed the road yonder ways, all the way around, and it was early afternoon when you left Vallaki, and by the time you got to here, where the windmill is, now it's nighttime.
I mean, I think we should just camp where we're at. I mean, from seeing the windmill, you know, it's all run down. So for all that we know, if anybody says anything, we could just say that, oh, well, we just thought it was a rundown old windmill. We're not gonna, you know, mess with that. It's like, I just don't want to move through the night and then stumble into something while we're here.
Yeah.
I just say we make camp, we don't talk to the old lady, and then in the morning we'll just mosey on, move along to where we need to go.
Okay, sounds like a plan. Probably take watch.
Yes, I agree. I think we need a lot of watches tonight.
Oh yeah, of course. That old lady could come out and like make us into bread. It would be terrible.
Okay. So you're going to camp at basically along the road nearest the path leading up to the windmill. Is that what I'm gathering? Or are you moving just slightly off the road? I mean, you can. It's not really like forested. It's like little foothills, so there's not much tree cover or anything like that. But you could definitely camp there if you wanted to.
I mean, I would say we just move slightly off the road. That way we're not like completely blocking the road.
Okay.
Just kind of like scooch over a bit
Okay.
and set up camp.
Yeah. Have Rusty on watch the entire night.
I do also have the alarm spell. I can ritual cast it. So if anything does come up to us, I will know.
That would be very helpful.
And I'm over the table. Strahd was actually cautious about alerting all of us last time.
Yeah. He knew right where to be to not set things off.
So, I mean, that just means it's effective for sure.
Not over the table. I'll say it also. If anyone walks up to our campsite, do not go walking towards them alone. Just stay in the group and start waking the other people up.
I mean, I was cursed, but yes, I do agree with you there.
It's very fair. It's very fair. All right. So you're keeping Rusty on watch all night. Is anyone else taking watch? And if so, which watch?
I only need 4 hours, so after my 4 hours, I will be up the rest of the watches.
Okay, so
I'll take first watch.
okay.
I'll take the last watch.
Okay. So first watch is
I'll take-
Rusty and Araza, and then second and third watch is Sorin and Rusty, and then how many watches are you guys gonna take? Are you gonna take 3 watches, 4 watches, however many you want to take? You gotta let me know. Not everyone has to take watch. Let me also preface that too. Not everyone has to take watch. If you want rest, you can just get rest.
We could do 4 watches, and because then Soren could take like the second 2, or one of the after 4 hours. Because everyone else need 8 hours, and then that's everyone took like 2-hour watch.
I mean, we also have Vasilka that doesn't sleep either. Unless she just continues to stare off into space.
She just stares off into space.
Gotcha.
Although, Araza, now that you mention that, you take a look at Vasilka and you see her just kind of like lay down on her side. She puts her hands in like a little praying motion and puts it up underneath of her cheek as she just kind of like lays in the wagon. Her eyes don't close, but it looks like she's just laying down.
Gotcha. I'm thinking in my head, oh, she's so cute. Look at that.
I'm going to make Ghost appear right beside her to keep her company.
She looks at the cat, just eyes wide open. It's kind of eerie, especially at night, but Ghost snuggles up with her.
I'll take the middle 2 watches with Sorin.
Okay.
How
I'll
many
join.
watches? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. I think that's we have 3 right now.
I have okay. So far I have 3 watches. I have Araza on the first one, and I've got Sorin on second and third, and on the third watch I've also got Warren with Sorin, and then Rusty is like with all of them because Rusty doesn't need to sleep.
Oh, I'll do the first 2 then. So
Okay.
there's 3 people on 1 and 2 with Rusty.
Okay, so you're doing
2
the first
people
2.
plus
Okay.
Rusty. Yeah.
Cool. All right, and then Grimm, which watch are you taking? You said you're taking the middle 2, or do you want
I'll
to
take the final 2. I think there is. So then there's 2 of us with Rusty on the entire.
If you want 2 people, with Rusty, it would be you would have to take the middle 2 watches because Warren's on the last watch.
Okay, then I'll do that.
Okay. It's kind of a weird sleep schedule, but you managed to pull it off. As long as you get like 8 hours of rest, it doesn't have to be consecutive rest. So just for reference, I will go. All right, first watch is Araza, Jymbo, Rusty. Second watch is Grimm, Jymbo, Rusty. Third watch is Grimm, Sorin, Rusty. And then final watch is Sorin, Warren, Rusty. All right. So, with everybody, do the watches sound fine to all of you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Out of watch number 1, Araza or Jymbo, I need one of you two to roll me a d12, please.
Would you like to do it, Araza?
I rolled a 6.
A 6. Okay. Your watch goes by uneventfully. Excuse me. Grimm and Jymbo, will one of you roll me a d12, please?
Why did I do that? I got a 1.
Ooh.
Okay.
I do have up my alarm, by the way.
I am aware.
Okay.
I'm just getting the numbers together here. Grimm and
Jymbo falls
Sorin.
asleep.
Grimm and Sorin, can you out of the two of you, can one of you roll me a d12, please?
I could
I
roll
can
it.
roll it. Well,
Well, I said Grimm and Sorin, but on Grimm and Sorin first, and then Sorin and Warren.
I
Yeah, go
rolled
ahead.
a 7.
7, okay. And then Sorin and Warren, I need a d12.
Do you wanna
I
roll?
rolled a 7.
A 7, okay. So, first watch goes by, Araza, Jymbo, Rusty. You keep yourselves fairly, entertained. Sorin has his alarm spell up, so you don't have to worry about anything approaching your camp. You don't hear anything other than the slow, squeaky turn of the windmill fans. It's kind of some weird ambient white noise while you're camping out, but Araza, it's your turn to go to sleep, so you wake up Grimm to accompany Jymbo and Rusty on their watch. So, as you drift off to sleep, Araza, Grimm, Jymbo, I need you to roll me perception checks.
23.
Okay.
16.
Okay. Jymbo, you see, as you're staring into the campfire, you watch as Vasilka slowly stands up from the wagon, and she looks around. She's a little confused. Looks as if she's been alerted by something. And as she steps down out of the wagon, she starts heading towards the road. And when she starts walking, she passes by you and the others as they're sleeping, and she sees something and she picks it up.
Vasilka, what do you got there?
And she perks up at the sound of her name, and she turns around, she looks at you, and she approaches you, and in her hands is a pie.
Oh, that is haunted. That is very haunted. Let's. Did Araza do watch at all?
Yeah.
Already, I can't remember. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you're on your second watch. It's you and Grimm.
Okay, so
Grimm doesn't notice. Grimm doesn't notice Vasilka get up and move out. He was just shy. He was just shy of the amount. Just shy of the
if
amount.
she could purify the pie.
Do I now notice
Yeah, you
what's
notice
going on?
Vasilka as soon as Jymbo calls out to Vasilka. It's like, hey, where are you going? you see that Visilka has picked up a pie, and she carries it back to
Can
camp.
can I investigate if I see any footprints or anything around where the pie was to see if I see if someone walked it in or anything?
Yeah, go ahead.
That would be 19.
Okay. You check around, and you do see footprints. You do see footprints. They look to be a few uneven steps. They look to be like half shuffled footprints. But it looks like where it was placed, it was from the road leading up towards the windmill.
Was it the pie outside of the radius of the alarm, or?
Yes.
Okay.
I think that when Sorin wakes up for his watch, you should have him check this out with magic just to see how cursed this pie is.
Yeah, go ahead, have him check that out. And because they were able to drop the pie off so that they didn't set off an alarm. So I think they could see magic too.
Okay. Jimbo's gonna go about continuing the watch at this point because
Okay.
I'm definitely not gonna eat the pie.
Okay. There, it's still warm. Smells pretty good. So you continue your watch. You don't eat the pie. You leave the pie there. You wake up Sorin. Sorin gets up for his part of the watch. Grimm, you share in the watch, and Jymbo, you can finally get some rest if you feel like you can sleep.
I'm gonna try to sleep.
Okay.
I'm sure I'm gonna have some kind of nightmare about falling off mountains or being chased by pies.
You have a dreamless night.
Yay!
All right, Grimm, Sorin, you wake up. Sorin, the first thing you notice is that your alarm has been dispelled.
I will relay that to Grimm and simply say, well, my alarm is no longer here. The spell that it
And
placed.
I will say it's probably the person that delivered, as I point to the pie, delivered this pie to us, and the footprints look like they were going to and from the mill. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Can I take the pie and just start looking through it? Like, why would they place this here?
Like you just want to like pick through the pie, like
Can I make like an investigation check?
yeah.
Okay. That is a 17 plus 7.
Okay.
So 24.
It is a mincemeat pie. You pick through it and there's vegetables and stuff in there too, but it's mostly meat. But considering that it's mincemeat, it's hard to determine like if it's chicken or pork or beef. It's just whatever gravy has been slathered in with it too. It's really difficult to tell. But it smells delicious.
Man, DoorDash is getting real weird. They're dispelling things and everything.
During this, I am. How far away from the windmill are we?
You're about like a football field's length away, about 100 yards.
God bless. Okay. All right. I'm gonna say the Grimm. Probably not. It's just a meat pie. I'm not really much for meat, but doesn't really. You know what? Can I ritual cast detect magic on it?
Yeah.
Okay. 11 minutes later.
You sit there as the pie cools. And you ritual cast detect magic on it, and it seems to have some small amount of magic on it.
Well, I'm getting the slightest bit of magic coming from this pie, so it's probably best that we don't eat it.
Okay.
I'm gonna kind of take it, walking about 20 yards towards the windmill. And I'm gonna walk back, and I'm gonna light a firebolt at it.
Okay. You light a firebolt at the meat pie, and it ignites, it burns, it's gone.
Am I the only one that thought it would be hilarious if there was no magic at all about the pie and it was just a straight pie?
Well, with the detect magic, you detected that there was like a small level of enchantment magic on it.
Oh. Do you think they lure people into that windmill, Grimm?
Now
Using
that
the
them
pies.
delivering the pie, yeah, I could see them trying to like basically lure people in.
I'm gonna go ahead and take my long rest real quick, since I only needed 4 hours.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
So from there, Grimm, your watch ends, and and now it's Sorin, Warren, and Rusty.
Yeah, so apparently there was a pie that was put onto the road. We're assuming by the people from the windmill. My alarm spell was pretty much dispelled. And yeah, me and Grimm, we kind of thought up an idea that they're luring people into the windmill.
I mean, that kind of tracks with what we've been experiencing lately, so, yeah, definitely not stopping by there. We'll just keep on going in the morning.
Do you think there's people there? Other than that figure?
What, you think the old lady is making people into pies?
I mean, anything's possible in this land. I mean, for hell's sake, you found me in a casket, and apparently I've been asleep for 100 years. Everything that I've known is gone. Yes, I could possibly be thinking that.
Did you say that you, like, how did you come to that conclusion? Like, through your, like, spell casting, did something come up?
Well, it was placed onto the road.
Yeah, you never eat
Presumably-
things off the ground. That's way past the 5-second rule.
There was foot tracks. Correct me if I'm wrong. There was foot tracks leading from the windmill to the road.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But yeah, there was that as well. The slightest bit of magical came off of the pie.
What
searched
kind
through
of
it.
magic? Like, was it good magic, bad magic? Because I know Araza can tell that stuff too.
Well, it was of the enchantment magic.
Sounds
I
like a
don't know.
fairy tale that my mom used to read to me and my sister about somebody poisoning an apple and somebody falling asleep.
Maybe we should discuss this with the others.
Definitely. I figure during our watch, I'm actually gonna go over and check on Vasilka, because do I find out she was the one that found the pie, or
I don't think anyone told you that Vasilka found the pie because Jymbo and Grimm were debating. It's like, what do you think's going on with that pie? That pie is the pie's haunted. So no, I don't think so.
I mean, okay. Well, I'm still gonna check on Vasilka and just see how she's doing.
She's laying down in the wagon as she had before, but when you approach, like she like sits up real quick, and she just looks at you, tilts her head.
You having a good night?
And she blinks. And she scoots out slowly to the edge of the wagon, and she just kind of like sits on the edge of it, like to where she would like climb down out of it, but she doesn't. And she's just like, the way that she's sitting, her ankles are crossed, and she's just like slowly kicking her legs, but she's just like staring at you like, make an insight check, Warren.
$18.
She seems to enjoy your company. Like, she kind of like perks up when you're around. She seems to be like kind of mimicking the things that you and your party members are doing, whether the others are cognizant of it or not. Like, she picks up on small mannerisms and whatnot. But when you approach to see how she's doing, she's very interested, as if she wants to engage in conversation that she knows that she can't have.
Don't worry, I think your time will come, but in the meantime, you know, when we have some downtime, some slow time, I can show you ways that you can, you know, protect yourself and defend yourself. I taught my sister how to fight and defend herself. I think a gal's got to know how to look after herself.
And she slides down, and she takes your hand, and then she slowly shuffles off towards the road, and she points to the ground, and then she points up to the windmill. Ah.
Were you the one that found the pie earlier?
Huh? And she points to the windmill again. Like, very, very, like, stern, rigid movement of pointing at windmill.
Are you getting a good feeling or a bad feeling from that windmill?
And she squeezes your hand, and again, she's not a dainty little flower, but she squeezes your hand, and you notice that normally her expressions are very stiff, mainly because she is constructed of other parts. But you see that she looks a little forlorn, like a little, not like upset, but she looks forlorn. And she points to the windmill one more time, but then her finger, as it points, it's as if her arm gives out from the weight of it, and then she just lets it drop back to her side. And she lets go of your hand. And Sorin, you are awake for this one, so you see Warren and Vasilka talking.
I'm just sitting by the fire right now.
Okay.
Assuming that we have one.
Yeah. So Warren, what do you do?
Did you want to go to the windmill?
Vasilka doesn't answer. She looks to be like mid catatonic. She's just staring off into nothing now.
I kind of like snap my fingers, kind of just to try to get her attention, like without startling her too much. Like, hey.
She blinks and then follows your fingers.
Are you getting a good feeling from there or a bad feeling?
You can tell she doesn't know how to answer.
I will make my way over to Warren and Vasilka.
She really got excited about the windmill. Like, she pointed to the ground, and then she pointed to the windmill. And she really seems interested in it.
Sorin, as you approach, her demeanor kind of shifts a little bit, and she almost mimics your stance, and she points her finger like at the ground and makes a sound like "Bachoo!" And you know, nothing comes of it. No spell is cast, but she kind of gives you this crooked smile, like "Pachoo, pachoo," and she points to the ground again.
Do I need to roll an insight to understand what she's trying to do?
No, you determine that she understands that that she watched you destroy the pie with a firebolt.
Oh.
And then Warren, she points to the ground, she points at Sorin, and then she makes another pachoo sound before going mid catatonic again.
I think we ought to discuss the windmill situation to the rest of the party in the morning. Seeing
I
as how
agree.
very interested in it, and yeah, seeing her go pachoo pachoo again, I'm just gonna shoot another fire. I almost said fireball, but firebolt at the ground.
Yeah, the fireball will go over very, very well. So you shoot another one at the ground, and you see her, like, her eyes light up, and she looks startled. She looks startled seeing it this close. And she staggers back and she falls.
I go to help her up.
As you help her up, Warren, she's trembling.
I kind of shoot Sorin this look. Like, don't do that again around her. Like, I kind of give him that look.
With that being said, I'm gonna go back over to the fire.
Okay. He would have had no way of knowing that was gonna startle her anyway. So the rest of the night goes by uneventfully. The sun rises, but it's still obscured in Barovia. It's daytime, but you don't see any real sun, as per the norm. Through the night, the windmill continued to spin and grind, and there are no presents left near your camp. You're all able to wake up and discuss your next course of action.
Veselka seemed really, I don't know if she was eager or interested in the windmill, but this is the most I've seen of her reacting to anything. I mean, I don't know if this has something to do with her coming into herself. So I don't know if we should or shouldn't go to the mill.
I think there's something up with that the old lady, just because I stealthed away, and then she came to our camp, got rid of the alarm spell, and then dropped off the pie that had some magic on it, and left. So I don't know if it was supposed to eat the pie and then we get sick, or get lured into the mill and then she does something to us, or what, but I don't trust her.
I mean, it was definitely a haunted pie. What she's probably doing is she's getting travelers in there, and then she's using some kind of magic to steal their soul and then bake pies and put the souls in the pies. That's what's going on for real.
I personally do not like the fact that somebody was able to get rid of my spell. So, me personally, I think that we should go take care of her.
Yeah.
And at this point, I will cast Summon Faith. So we'll have another companion with us.
Okay. Which fey creature?
Well, it has its own stat sheet, and I did sing you it.
Yes. So
Uh,
I will get that
I
pulled.
really
I will get that pulled
Yeah.
in if we need it for combat purposes.
so. Would you play him or would I play him?
You will direct him. I mean, I will play the Fae, but you can direct him if you tell him, hey, go do this, go do that, and then he will go do it.
Okay, awesome. Very, very nice. And I will simply say, well, if she's able to cast magic, then we'll need some help. Hence, my companion here. His name is Gregory. He is not a butler. So yeah.
All right. Well, you summon Gregory. He is a small Fae creature. How does Gregory appear? Do you have anything in mind, or would you like me to just roll with it?
Well, I would figure him to be, since he's small, probably like I would say like 3'5", probably like a nymph.
Okay.
If I'm doing the right thing.
Well, when I think of small Fae, I usually go with either sprites or grigs. Grigs are like the ones that have like the insect bottoms and human-like tops. They're like an insect centaur that are roughly around that size. But I mean, a nymph would be a lot larger. It'd be like a medium-sized creature if it'd be a nymph.
Oh, okay, yeah. Better yet, let's just go with a grig.
Okay,
that's perfectly fine.
So Gregory the Grig, he appears, and you watch as he like kind of like shifts and trembles, and he rubs his cricket legs together, and you hear the little creak 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 creak. I can't do that noise. That is a noise that a human mouth cannot really emulate that well, at least not mine. So, but he rubs his legs together, and he looks. He's like, yes. What can I do for you?
Well, here soon, Gregory, we will need your help.
I see. Helping is what I can do. I suppose I'm here for it anyway.
At that point, I'll kind of look to like Araza and Grimm and Warren and see what you guys think. What we should do.
I think we should leave the old lady alone. She didn't necessarily disturb us, but that's me.
I mean, if we just happen to pass by the mill and something happens, like, I would react to it, but if we just go by the mill and nothing happens, then nothing happens.
Again, the mill is up on a hill, and you guys are down on the road near the path that leads up to the hill. Sorin, go ahead and make an insight check for me, please, considering that it was your spell that was dispelled.
Oh, good lord. All right. Let's see. All right, got that. How about a 23?
23. Usually when someone dispels that kind of magic, they mean to cause harm to whoever's within, or they have the wherewithal and the magical knowledge that such a protective ward has been cast. Given the situation and the fact that only a pie was dropped off, if that old lady wanted to do anything to you, she probably would have done it.
That is fair. And I would relay that to the party.
Okay. So the decision rides with the party. Are you going to go up to this windmill and beat up this old lady who makes pies and delivers them to wayward travelers, or are you going to continue on and try to find the Vistani?
I say we just continue on.
Yep. I think we should continue on too.
I'm personally for beating up an old lady, but that's just me.
I think we should just skip it, and Jymbo wants nothing to do with weird haunted pie lady.
I'm just nervous if we walk by, if the old lady is just going to keep following us and keep doing stuff. We got basically an unknown that's just has a chance of just following us that could get rid of the alarm spell. And if she's working with Strahd, that means she drops the spell, and then Strahd could just walk up right to us.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty sure Strahd could just drop that spell too. He just messes with us.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's
I mean, for all we know, he
Like,
could have
if
dropped
Strahd's
off the
gonna
pie.
mess with us, he's gonna do it himself. He's not gonna be like, oh yes, little old lady, fuck with him. Yes, yes.
just give them
He is.
pies.
Unless he is the little old lady fucking with us with pies.
You know, you don't even know. Like at this point, you know, he's posed himself as a cat man. He's he's shown that he's willing to mess with you. You already know he's willing to mess with you. And this could be one of the many ways he would mess with you, is like pretending to be an old lady and dropping off pies.
Bro is just bored as hell being immortal.
I don't think you're wrong.
Yeah, but you could just skip by and hope nothing else happens from it. I'd say if our next rest, if there's another pie that gets dropped off, then we go back and just kill her.
You're basing all that off of a pie?
Yeah, well, if she keeps following us, yeah.
I'd say we just keep going.
Okay. So you gather up your things. You cast one last glance up at the windmill as you continue along the old Svalich Road. Eventually, the windmill falls out of sight when you continue down the rocky mountainous path. So, that being said, you continue on your way. I think this would be a good time for us to go ahead and take our break. We can go ahead and take our break, and then we can pick up from there. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna entertain chat while you guys go ahead and take your break, though, since we had a couple people raid in, and I can at least talk to them and whatnot. So if you guys want to go ahead and take 5 minutes, does that sound good?
Sounds good.
That sounds great.
All right.
Before I go, I just want to put forth like a scenario for the future. What if there was a doppelganger that had an army of mimics that were shaped like pies?
Well, that's not to say that won't happen, but thanks for putting that in Strahd's head. poor Goldie. But guys, go ahead and take your breaks here. I'm gonna go ahead and entertain chat here. Normally we'll go to our be right back screen, but I'm gonna go ahead and talk to everybody. So welcome, Raiders. First we had Druid, and then we had Ghoulie. Since Ghoulie's the most recent one, I don't know how many people are still around from Druid's raid, but we'll start with Ghoulie. Ghoulie, how was your streamiversary stream? How did that go? What did you do? please tell me, guys. If you're not following Ghoulie, please do so. They are an amazing content creator. They're very entertaining. You'd be doing yourself a disservice if you weren't doing so. But Raiders, I understand that streaming can take its toll on the community and the streamers themselves, so please make sure that you're staying hydrated, grabbing a bathroom break, do any self-care rituals that you need to do, because your health is paramount here on the Jotun Red Wolf channel, and among us here at Perception Checked. You're not required to stick around. We appreciate it if you do. Ghoulie, thanks for dropping the kids off at the pool. We'll take good care of them. Same goes for Druid. Druid, how was your stream? What did you do? If you're still here, I don't know if you're still lurking or whatnot, but I see we've got so many of your people here. Raidception, everyone's raiding. But again, self-care rituals, do those, take care of yourselves. It's going good so far. You got like 16 hours. Oh my gosh, 16 hours. How are you going to do that? How are you going to manage all that, Ghoulie? Man, 16 hours. I remember being able to do stuff like that back in my day when I was young and spry and I could, stay up for more than a couple hours at a time without having to take an ibuprofen because I blinked too hard. You stream it on multicast. That's fair. But no, thank you guys so much for sharing your communities with us here. We're currently playing Curse of Strahd. This is episode 10. If you need to, you can catch up with us on the YouTube. You feel like you're older than me? I don't know, Ghoulie. I'm pretty old. But you can catch up on all of our live play VODs there on the YouTubes. Again, we're a couple episodes in on a few of them. I'm running Keep on the Shadowfell. That's on Tuesdays. This past Tuesday we had some technical issues because my internet went out and we didn't get to play, and that sucked. But I'm also running the Isle of Lost Tides, which is a original adventure written by me. That is the one that I have some of my old DMs as players. So that is something that you can look forward to there. But yeah, again, thank you guys for dropping by. Again, you don't have to stick around. We appreciate it if you do. I'm just catching up with everybody. There's no way. I'm ancient and decrepit. I'm older than I act half the time. I'm not gonna have anybody out their ages either. Don't do that. There are a few members in my community that are older than I am. Olton Red Wolf, or Jotun Old Fart. That someone's gonna end up clipping that and then just start calling me Jotun Old Fart, and I'll cry myself to sleep. But that's not unusual. But yeah, welcome everybody. Welcome. If you're enjoying the vibes, if you enjoy hanging out, then hang out for some more. We're gonna it's fine, Ghoulie. Only you and Maggie are permitted to call me that because you guys are awesome. Not saying that other people aren't awesome, but you're the only ones who are allowed to say that. I'll just get mad otherwise. But so to catch everybody up to speed, the party had left from the town of Vallaki. They summoned an illusory manticore. They lit the walls on fire and decided to escape because the town weirded them out. And they ventured further down the Svalich Road because they are in search of a woman named Madame Eva, a Vistani leader, traveling nomads. Thanks, Val. And they're seeking out this Vistani leader because they are hoping to get some insight on how to return home. And they just recently were gifted a pie from a mysterious old woman who they decided not to partake in the pie and decided to firebolt it and destroy it instead, which may or may not have been a good decision. That's their decision, though. But yeah. Well, I'm back. I don't know if my players are back yet. I think Goldie's muted. Yeah, Ghoulie, go make some dinner. Get out of here. Go. Get.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm back.
Welcome back, Ghoulie. Yeah, Ghoulie, get out of here. Go make some dinner. Eat. That follows under self-care. But thank you.
I'm back as well.
All right. Thank you, Val.
So am I?
Thank you, Star Kitty.
I'm here.
Thank you. And
Yeah, I'm back.
all right, wonderful. All right, guys. Well, normally we have our Be Right Back screen up, but again, I felt the need to address everyone who dropped in, so we're gonna get back into it. You guys venture out, giving the windmill one last glance, and you have the summoned Gregory the Grig with you, who is spry and he's kind of antsy in terms of like he's like real twitchy and kind of awkward, but he'll stick by your side for as long as you need him for as long as the spell lasts. So where do you guys go from here?
I guess we make our way towards the western gate.
Looks that way.
Yeah, because once we get past the gate, I think we turn right.
Yeah, because I think we're heading to the Sussur Pool of Vistani camp.
Okay. So you're going to pass by the Sare Falls and then down towards the Sare Pool. As you head towards the western gate, fog spills out of the forest to swallow up the road behind you. Ahead, jutting up from the impenetrable woods on both sides, are high stone buttresses looming gray in the fog. Huge iron gates hang on the stonework. Dew clings with cold tenacity to the rusted bars. Two headless statues of armed guardians flank the gate, their heads now lying among the weeds at their feet. They greet you only with silence. As you travel along the road, the gates slowly open. You see no guardhouses to speak of. You see no one manning the gates. Just a slow as the gates open up for you and allow you to continue along the road. And you said you're heading towards the falls, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. You follow the river to the base of a canyon, the far end of which a great waterfall spills into a pool, billowing forth clouds of cold mist. Great stone bridge spans the canyon nearly 1,000 feet overhead. But you, being on the high road, you follow the dirt road as it clings to the side of a mountain and ends before an arching bridge of mold-encrusted stone that spans the natural chasm. Gargoyles, cloaked in black moss, perch on the corners of the bridge. Their frowns are weather-worn. On the mountainous side of the bridge, a waterfall spills into a misty pool nearly 1,000 feet below. The pool feeds a river that meanders into the fog-shrouded pines that blanket the valley. And once you cross the bridge, it branches off into 2 points.
We're at the bridge.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to take out the map.
Okay.
I'm just going to say out loud. So we're supposed to head towards the pool, right?
Yeah, so we
Yes.
would take the path to our left, and it kind of follows the stream to the pool.
That is correct. So is that where you go?
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
Very well. The road gradually disappears and is replaced by a twisted, muddy path through the trees. Deep ruts in the earth are evidence of the comings and goings of wagons. The canopy of mist and branches suddenly gives way to black clouds boiling far above. There's a clearing here, next to a river that widens to form a small lake several hundred feet across. 5 colorful round tents, each 10 feet in diameter, are pitched outside a ring of 4 barrel-topped wagons. Much larger tent stands in the shore of the lake, its sagging form lit from within. Near this tent, 8 unbridled horses drink from the river. The mournful strains of an accordion clash with the singing of several brightly clad figures around a bonfire. The footpath continues beyond this encampment, meandering south between the river and the forest's edge. So let me set the scene for us here. Let's see here. I think that... There we go. Perfect. I'm going to go ahead and pull you guys on. I didn't update your tokens. I knew I forgot to do something, but you know what? That's okay. They will be updated for next time. But we have some wonderful token art done from our good friend Dash Exist. If we could get a shout out for Dash_exist, please and thank you. But let me get you guys pulled on here. Araza and Grimm. Jymbo, and Sorin, and Warren, and we have Ghost as well. We've got Ghost and Basilka and everyone, so.
Before we enter the camp fully, I want to go ahead and put the mask, and also, are there any spare gloves that we could have Basilka wear?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. That's what I'd like to help her with before we go into the camp.
Okay. Can do, will do.
Grig is gone by now, because
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's been longer than an hour.
Yeah, it's been longer than an hour to travel here, yes.
Yep, he's gone.
But you can always resummon him. You can always find time to resummon him later if you need him. Where is she? Where's my Vasilka token? I keep losing my Vasilka token, guys. I apologize. Here's Rusty. Vasilka's not that far behind. But yeah, you guys approach, and the travelers don't seem to be paying you any mind. You notice that there is a woman over here tending to some horses. I'm gonna assume that Rusty, and I don't know who is where. I think Ghost is next to Vasilka. Is Ghost still keeping Vasilka company? Is it safe to assume that? Okay.
Yep.
Put the party up this way. Y'all are up this way, and Rusty's back here. And the wagon is with you. I'm just not going to drag a wagon on if there's no need to. So yeah, you approach the Vistani encampment. Again, they don't pay you any mind, at least not initially. You notice that they look to you, but don't do more than just look at you. It's not unusual for them to see travelers on the road. So what do you guys do?
I'll actually take Tom over to where the other horses are and let him get a decent amount to drink.
Okay, the other horses are actually near the river up here, so you'd have to actually like go through the camp, or you can unhitch Tom and carry him through yourself.
Yeah, I'm gonna unhitch Tom from the wagon.
Okay.
And lead him to where the other horses are. So it's what, right here?
Yeah, the other horses are up near here. Yes.
Okay, I'll just go ahead and lead Tom. Like, I'm gonna try to like make sure that like, you know, we'll just kind of go our way and kind of go over here.
Okay. I assume you don't just walk straight through the camp. You guide your way around.
Well, no, like yeah, I'll guide around and like
All right.
you know, make sure Tom doesn't bump into anybody, but also make sure he doesn't get startled.
Okay, as you make your way through, Warren, this woman here appears to be dancing around the fire. You notice that this old man he taps the cinders from his pipe onto the ground behind him, and this man here slowly kind of he meanders in front of this particular tent as you make your way through, and this woman here she just smiles at you. She smiles at you as you make your way over. So what do the rest of you do?
See, I go ahead and start to make my way in. And I say hello.
I will as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll
just
join
follows
too.
along.
And this woman here continues to dance around the fire as you guys make your way here. But this old man, he stands up and he claps his hands, and once the girl dances past, he slowly approaches. He says, "Welcome, strangers. Welcome. What brings you to our humble little camp?"
We're looking for a short little respite for our horse, and we're also looking for a particular person that might be in this camp.
Oh, you're looking for someone in particular. We didn't take anything from you, did we? And then he kind of winks at you. And he says,
I kind of laugh back and say, no, at least I don't think so.
"Oh, well, you've You've taken my heart, my dear. You've taken my heart." And you hear this woman say, "Oh, don't mind him. He says that to everyone." And
Oh, I'm sure he does.
And he just kind of chuckles and he sits down. He says, "A fine steed you've got there. Just Clydesdale?"
Oh, yes. We procured him from the winery in the area.
"Oh, you took him from the winery. Oh, you should have taken some wine instead."
Oh, no, we did not take. We were given.
"Oh, given. Well, they should have given you some wine instead."
What if they did?
Well, I wouldn't be one to impose, but if some wine was given and perhaps shared amongst some fellow weary travelers, well, you would find yourself at a very warm seat around this fire. You and your companions. And he claps his hands. He's like, "Adolfo, please." And then a young man makes his way over. He's like, fetch some of the good wine, and we're going to have ourselves a few drinks." He goes, "Oh, yes, sir." And he ventures back and goes to gather something from this tent. Now, please, you and your friends, please have a seat around the fire. And don't mind Esmeralda. She's going to be dancing until her feet fall off.
I see. I look over to Rusty and Vasilka, and I'm like, I motion them to come on over too.
Rusty clanks his way over, and Vasilka slowly follows. Jymbo, are you still standing out on the edge of things, or are you joining everybody?
Oh yeah, Jymbo joins everyone. Sorry about that.
No, you're okay. I just figured it's he's been really suspicious the last few days.
Well, Jymbo was going to say, and will lean over and say, "I hope they don't teleport us anywhere else, or maybe home. If we're gonna wake up mysteriously, not in fog would be pretty good this time."
Yes, I agree with you, Jymbo. I agree.
Well, please, have yourselves a seat, my friends. Have yourselves a seat. You found yourselves in the most prestigious camp of all Vistani camps.
I go over and I have a seat.
Jymbo
very
also sits.
prestigious, huh?
Oh, indeed. You find yourselves within the wispy grasps of Madame Eva's camp. Now, you said that you were looking for someone, and I could reckon that might be who you're looking for. Those who are often lost wander into our camp, and they seek guidance. Perhaps from the wisest of the wise, Madame Eva herself.
Well, considering the last time my friends and I stayed in a Vistani camp, we ended up here.
Oh, here? Exactly here?
No, in Barovia.
Oh. Sour bit of luck, that.
Yes, which is why we are seeking Madame Eva's advice.
Oh, advice on how to acclimate oneself to a place such as this, or perhaps to get some insight on the lord of this place, or maybe even a way home.
Mostly a way home, but yes.
I see. Well, I don't have enough tobacco in my pipe to continue on with tales of that sort, but have your friends sit around. We'll bring some food, and then I'll see if I can score you an audience with Madame Eva. What do you say?
Oh, we will wait around as long as needed to have an audience with Madame Eva.
Very good, very good. And then he claps his hands. He claps his hands once more, and the young man returns. He returns with wine skins and some baked goods, and he starts passing them out. He passes them out to the old man and the dancer as well. And then he makes his way over to you. He's like, "Oh, here you go." And then slowly, one by one, he makes his way to everybody. Warren, you are up by the water, and you see that the young woman who you passed by with Tom, she slowly makes her way over to you, and she says, "That's a lovely horse."
And I, give Tom like a nice hearty pat and say, "Yeah, Tom's a good lad. He's helped us through a lot, and we've been very lucky to have him."
Oh, I can see. I can read his presence. And she walks up to him and says, "May I?"
If he's all right with it, I'm all right with it.
Oh, I wasn't asking you. And Tom kind of, and he nods an okay, and she puts her hand against his neck and starts petting him, and she goes, "Oh goodness. Well, you have been through a lot. Well, that's interesting." She goes, "Tell me all about it." And he just kind of like nods his head and whimpers and makes his little horse noises. And after a while, she says, "Wow, you've really gone out of your way for this fine lad." And Tom nods and says, "He thinks very highly of you."
Well, I'm glad. Horses and most animals are pretty good judges of people, and I've learned back home that you take care of the land and the animals, and all will be well.
That's good. I see that's a bit of honesty about you. Warren, was it? Don't worry, Tom told me your name. I hope you don't mind.
Not at all, ma'am.
I suppose I should give you my name in return? You can call me Bella. And she gives you a little curtsy.
And I, give her like, as much of a bow as I can, because Warren's also kind of awkward.
Yeah.
in his own way.
But she gives you that curtsy and she watches you bow, and then she just kind of like snickers and laughs and says, "You don't need to be so formal here, Warren. We're very loose here." And she gives like a little shake of her skirt, and then she slowly makes her way back to her tent. It's as if she was trying to get a rise out of you. But the rest of you sit around the camp, and you take notice of the fact that they're very relaxed around strangers. The Vistani here are not as skeptical or as judgmental as the first Vistani you met. And even then, those Vistani were very they were very welcoming to all of you as well. So what do you do once you're there with the rest of the Vistani crew? Do you just wait and enjoy drink and food, or do you insist on seeing Madame Eva?
Well, I mean, I'll enjoy drinking food with them, maybe swap stories of travels and things like that. Get to know them before I start demanding to see Madame Eva.
Before you start demanding. Well, the old man, whose name you learn is Brutine,
Routine, okay.
he makes it a very big point to sit like right here, not like uncomfortably close, but close enough so that way if you have to whisper something to him, you can. But tell me, where are you from? Where have you ventured from? When was your last point of origin? Did you make your way to the lakes yet, or did you did you pass by the old mill? Did you stay for a festival at that blasted town, Vallaki?
We certainly blasted the festival, I'd say that.
We started in Kresk.
Kresk, oh. Well, they like us there in Kresk. They don't much care for us in Vallaki.
Yes, we didn't care much for Vallaki either.
Oh, then we are kindred souls, you and I. Kindred souls indeed. And he claps his hands together and he says, another round of wine for our friends. Another round. And he says, Adolfo, you need to be quicker. He says, you're
I'll
getting
just
on.
have water, please.
Oh, water, please. She says, very well. Adolfo, please bring us the cleanest, crispest water that you have for our dear. Have you introduced yourselves to him, like by name or no?
Oh, I would have said something when we were starting to swap stories. I've been like, my name is Araza. Nice to meet you.
Yes, please, the freshest, crispest water for Araza here. And he says, and don't do any of that strange stuff that flavors the water and makes it taste like cherries or whatever. And
Can I? I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to ask something above table. I just want to hear everybody's opinion really quick. So we're swapping stories with this old guy. Should I swap my stories with this old guy?
I mean, that's up to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be like, yeah, I was with the abbot, kind of cool. Anyways. Yeah. So back in game, I would start to explain where I come from, and
Okay.
I would assume that I would be from Kresk, seeing as how the abbey was right there.
You could have been, yeah. That's a safe assumption. Kresk, if not nearby, and
then I would have told him about the whole story of how I came to be this, of what I am, or of what I know that I am, and of the night we went up against Strahd and failed, and yeah.
quite an old tale for such a young man. And he taps the side of his nose as if saying that he might not entirely believe it because it could be a tall tale to him. Are you trying, like, I know you're being honest, but would you care to make a persuasion check to see if you can convince him that your tale is true?
All right, come on, straight roll. Okay, that is 17.
After a moment, you see he goes, ha, and he taps the ash out of his pipe and he lights it up again. And he says, "Well, seems that time does wonders. It's quite a curse you've got on you, boy. Quite the curse indeed."
That indeed it is, and one that I plan on foreseeing it to be possibly undone. But I do not think that will come.
Eventually, this man makes his way over to your camp, probably after the time that you've swapped your stories. And he says, Madame Eva will see you now. Yes?
Already? We were just having so much fun.
The man furrows his brow at you, Araza. He says, do not keep Madame Eva waiting. You keep her
I
waiting.
understand.
She is very, very busy. There's no time for others. And he kind of like spits on the ground and he walks back over.
Sorry to interrupt, but all I can picture is Gru from Despicable Me coming over and talking to us. What's that voice?
You'll need to get Madame Eva a unicorn toy.
You'll need to get Madame Eva a new unicorn toy. But yeah, they
I get up and I follow him.
Okay.
I'll tell who I've been talking to. It's like, I'll be right back. We'll share more stories.
Oh, very well, very well. I look forward to it. All right. So now I need to find the right music for this one. No, not that one. I thought that was it, but it's not it. Oh, here it is. Very good. You approach the large tent, and the man outside of it acknowledges you, Araza, as you approach. And inside, it's an old woman.
I'm also going over there.
Okay. Anyone who wants to go over there can. You're not limited to like one at a time. It's not a one at a time visit type deal.
I figure I trust Bella with Tom.
Okay.
Since she's, and I kind of like relay that to her, and I'll make my way over as well.
Okay.
And I'd like to have Vasilka come, so I'll like make my way back over to Vasilka, and have her come with us to Madame Eva.
Okay. She walks over there.
Ghost is not with us anymore. He's not here.
Okay, Ghost is dismissed, so I can get him off the board?
Yes.
Okay. What about Rusty? Because Rusty's just gonna kind of like linger around. He'll probably stay with your wagon if you want him to.
Yeah, that works.
There's really no need for an animated construct to go speak to a fortune teller. I'm just saying. What fortune does he have? That's sad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I said that, Rusty.
With us.
I'm sorry I said that,
What?
Rusty.
Yeah, I was gonna say you better apologize to Rusty, or he could turn out to be like Turnip Head from Howl's Moving Castle, and he's like this long lost prince that got bewitched or something.
That's true. It's a good movie, by the way.
It is. It is an excellent movie. I like that movie. One of my favorite Ghibli films. So you're brought over to the tent, and you see magic flames that cast a reddish glow over the interior of this tent, and it reveals a low table covered in a black velvet cloth. Glints of light seem to flash from the crystal ball on her table, and her slightly hunched figure peers into the depths of it as she takes a long drag from what appears to be a cigarette. The woman looks up, acknowledges you with a faint glance.
At last you've arrived. Oh, goodness. It's been some time since I've had and visitors. Welcome. My name is Madame Eva. Who are you?
My name is Araza.
Indeed, Araza, and let me guess, you come with companions who bear names similar to those of statuses, Grimm and Warren. Ooh, and far off in the mountains, a lad named Jymbo, and indeed, someone whose past has now become their future. Welcome, Sorin, welcome. What can Madame Eva do for you?
She addresses all of you.
I'll kind of take Vasilka like by the hand, and I'll introduce her to Madame Eva as well. This is our friend Vasilka. She really needs your help in finding who she is.
She puts down some of her tarot cards, and she keeps her cigarette in her mouth. And when she draws closer to Vasilka, Vasilka kind of recoils a little bit. But Madame Eva, with some remarkable speed and dexterity, snatches Vasilka by the hand to kind of like inspect her. She doesn't grab her in like a violent way, but it's like one of those like, hold on, don't go too far. I need to inspect you. And she starts looking her over. Now you have gloves on her, right? Gloves and the mask?
Yes.
Okay. I need everyone to make an insight check really quick.
$18.
I got
5.
a 23.
Okay.
21.
14.
Okay. Jymbo?
5.
Jymbo, yeah, man, this old lady just snatched up Vasilka. What is going on here? The rest of you noticed that if you got above a 15, you notice that Madame Eva clearly sees through this disguise. But she doesn't act on it. You watch as her thumb kind of rolls around in a circle just at Vasilka's wrist joint. And she pulls her in a little bit closer. And Vasilka doesn't resist. And Madame Eva peers into her eyes through, behind the mask.
You said she needs help finding who she is, hmm? She knows who she is. There's not more that I can tell her right now.
Is there anything that we can do to help her?
She's not world weary, not yet. Her bones might be, but that light behind her eyes needs a little bit of encouragement. She's learning from you. I see that much. She's learning. But how quickly? And she leans in a little bit more, and Vasilka again recoils
And Madame Eva knowingly just takes her cigarette out of her mouth and kind of like puts it down at her side, so it's no longer like leering in Vasilka's face. How about we drop the act?
Yes, please.
Come in. And she motions all of you inside of her tent. And she pulls Vasilka along beside her.
Okay.
Jymbo enters.
Yes.
I am
Because if I recall, this is not necessarily the first time that Jymbo has seen this lady, right? We were running towards her in the dream.
Yes. Araza and Jymbo, both of you recognize her as the woman in your dream.
Yeah, I'm staring at her, waiting for her to make eye contact with me.
Oh, she does. She makes direct eye contact with you as soon as you start looking at her.
I ask her, "Do you always appear in people's dreams?"
Only the ones in which Strahd is trying to get a hold on them.
Speaking of which, how do you get his hold off of you? Because I found that it's very uncomfortable in the neck regions.
Oh, you let him feed. Oh.
That
He's not
was
started
by
to turn yet,
accident.
has he, Sorin? He's not started to turn yet.
I'm sorry, do what?
Your friend, Jymbo. He's not started to turn yet, has he? Strahd's already taken a nip at his neck and had himself a drink.
How would you know about me?
You reek of death. Plus, tragedy follows you like a lost dog.
Yeah, that's fair. But no, I do not think that he has began to turn.
I mean, I do leak weird black ichor sometimes, but I don't think that's about being a vampire. I think that's just related to being cursed.
Oh, you bear a curse on you. That much is for certain. I'm not going to lie to you.
Oh, you didn't have to. I already know. I'm full of curses. You see, we were at this windmill and there was this haunted pie, but Sorin exploded it, I guess, so everything's fine.
Oh, the dream pie. Oh, yeah, delectable.
Oh, wait.
You've had
Should
one.
we have eaten it? No, we blew it up.
she almost chokes on the puff of her cigarette.
You blew it up. you blew it up.
And when she starts laughing, the people out in the camp start laughing too.
Speaking of the windmill, I do mention Vasilka's reaction to it to Madame Eva.
What particularly about her reaction to it?
Just how reactive she was. Like, that was the most animated I've seen Vasilka. Like, she was like really like wanting to, like, I don't know if she wanted to go there, but it's just she had a reaction to it.
And you notice that Vasilka is now like starting to like, Madame Eva sits down and Vasilka stands next to her chair as if she's supposed to be standing there. And Madame Eva like takes Vasilka by the hand and rubs the joint once more on Vasilka's wrist.
Her bones carry memory. And perhaps memory was calling to her. She's a pretty thing, in a certain light. She'll be prettier when the time comes.
What do you mean prettier?
And Madame Eva uses her thumb, and she's got a long nail at the end of her thumb, and she slowly peels down the glove on Vasilka's wrist. And before, when you've seen Vasilka, she has that pallid skin tone. She has, she's cold. Araza, as a life cleric, you can sense when a pulse is present, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But you see that there is color coming to her flesh. This soulless doll, well, I guess she's not soulless anymore. She's come into her own, and she will develop. She will grow. She will exhibit a facsimile of life. She will not be some horrid, stitched together monster. She will be a beautiful young woman, probably one that will draw the ire and interest of Strahd. And perhaps that's the hope, right? That's what the abbot told you?
Yes. Something along those
did.
lines.
Though I don't, like, he tried making her eat from, like, the correct fork and spoon, but I didn't understand that.
It's
Etiquette.
table manners. Table manners. So let me venture more into other things. You brought her here. Why? Why here?
We didn't want to leave her in Kresk.
She wouldn't be safe there, no.
The abbot also was the one who suggested that we bring her here to, again, help her come into herself before he passed.
Oh. So what you're saying is that you brought her here in hopes that she will stay amongst us and be safe and develop and learn from our ways. I'm afraid there's nothing we can teach her and nothing that we can do to ensure her safety. We can come and go as we please. We could take her from these lands if we wanted to.
But you're not able to.
And Madame Eva just takes a slow drag of her cigarette, the reddened ash at the end kind of ominously illuminating her face. There are things that we don't trifle with, and one of those things is getting in between what the land wants and what the land already has. He doesn't have her, not yet. There's a long and bloody tale of the lord of this land.
There was something that I believe I mentioned in passing to Strahd when he tried to harass us one evening that really set him off. And it had something to do with relationships. Does she have something to do with this?
She would have, if that girl would have lived. Word travels fast along the Svalich Road, and you'd be more surprised to find out how quickly it makes it to our camps. You'd be even more surprised who delivers said messages, but
I don't think it's reached his ears yet. There was a girl who resided with her brother in Barovia, the village, not the country. Though I guess the country still applies. By the name of Irina. She's a beautiful girl, twice kissed by Strahd. He'd visit her in the night and try to convince her to come with him. The story goes back further than her. Irina was a girl who... She was beautiful, she was strong. She had the makings of physical nobility. And Strahd saw something in her. Something he wanted. Something he tried to have before. If you've not heard the tales, I'll tell you. Those who die in Barovia, their souls are not permitted to leave. They are lost, trapped, and in most new births, those souls that could not leave find themselves within the newborns. Though, if you're any good with math, you would also know that if the population of the country is significantly higher than the number of souls lost, that some are born without. I don't think you've met anyone without a soul, have you?
I mean, I can't really fit in the shoes, so usually my feet are soulless.
He gets it. And then she points at Jymbo. But there are people within Barovia who do not have souls. It's easy to tell because when they're born, they don't cry. They show no emotion. They live, they have a pulse, but they have no soul. And when Irina passed, it seems, and Madame Eva reaches up and she slowly takes the mask off of Vasilka, and Vasilka like kind of leans down to assist her, like to just make it so it's not like as far of a reach for her. She pulls off the mask and she makes a slow drag of her fingernail across Vasilka's cheekbones. She's starting to change. She looks different, right? You can tell, you've got good eyes. Mine are old and clouded. But surely you can see. Irina's soul is within her, which poses both a solution and a problem to two different things. It's a solution in that her soul is safe from Strahd, but it also poses a problem in that if Strahd were to know where she is, or who she was, that he would whisk her away. And the same tragic fate that befell that same soul before Irina to the days of his brother's bride. Strahd's a jealous sort, and you mentioned something set him off. Did I say that right, Warren?
Yes, ma'am.
Something set him off. And I, myself, have no problem poking a bear. But I don't think that's wise when you've been wandering in this bear's cave for days, weeks. She looks to Sorin, Sentry. As long as he lives, you're not going to get out of here. Because he doesn't want you to.
And how do we rectify that?
She taps her tarot cards. She pats them a few times. It's hard to say, but I could guide you in the right direction. There are many ways that Strahd finds weakness, but he himself is not without weakness. Allow me. And she smooths out the black cloth in front of her, and she starts shuffling her cards. And again, she motions for all of you to just kind of like sit around her table as she flips through them. She works through the cards, and she places them. She places down 5 cards. All of them face down. One to the left, almost in the cross-like pattern. These will be tools that will help you defeat Strahd. However, you will have to seek them out. Perhaps you've already found them. But, and this is where I get to actually use cards. You guys can't see what I'm doing. I wish I had a hand cam so you guys could see the cards that I'm laying out here. So I don't have my tarot cards down here with me, but I do have my playing cards, and there are equivalents to them. So I will go ahead and start shuffling them here. Okay. 1, 2. All right. She flips over the cards, and one at a time. First one she flips over. This card tells of history. Knowledge of the ancient will help you better understand your enemy. The card itself is a 9 of diamonds. So that is... Look for a fortress inside of a fortress, in a place hidden behind fire. You guys need to be writing these down, or at least making a note of something, because I have these written down as we're doing them. So, she flips over the next card. This card tells of a powerful force for good and protection, a holy symbol of great hope. Look to a place where sickness and madness are bred. Where children once cried, treasure lies still. The next card. This is a card of power and strength. Tells of a weapon of vengeance. A sword of sunlight. Go to the mountains. Climb the white tower guarded by golden knights.
A gold tower.
A white tower guarded by
white
golden
tower.
knights. Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. This card, as she flips another one, sheds light on one who will help you greatly in the battle against darkness. Stir up the spirit of a clumsy knight who wanders the land still. And finally, the location of your enemy. Your enemy is a creature of darkness, whose powers are beyond mortality. This card will lead you to him. I see a secret place, a vault of temptation, hidden behind a woman of great beauty. The evil waits atop his tower of treasure. In gathering these things, in gathering the ally and knowing where Strahd will be, that is where you will be able to defeat him. Anywhere else in his home, he is safe. But there, and she taps that last card, there is where he will be weakest and most vulnerable. And when you encounter him, and when he's defeated, you'll be able to go home. It's unfortunate that this is what ties you here. It's like a locomotive on a circular track, chugging along, and being unable to make it anywhere else other than round and round and round again. What other questions do you have for me, if any?
What's a locomotive, and is it crazy? Because it sounds like it.
It can be a crazy train, yes. It's a steam-powered engine made of... Oh, I'm not going to explain locomotives to you. You live up in the mountains. But anyway, what
Do any of these places you've spoken of from these cards correspond to anywhere on this map?
you show her the map?
Yes, I show her the map.
All right. Let's take a look at the map together, shall we? So, you ask her if any of these places correspond. And we'll start at the top. Let's see here. That one. The first one, the tome in which she talks about, she points to the Castle Ravenloft.
Okay.
The holy symbol, though, she points back to Kresk. More importantly, she points to an area on the map that is now a smoldering ruin.
Okay.
The sword, which is the three of spades. So that is, she points over here. Near Solenka Pass. Past the winery where you had been before. Where the road had split, instead of going down one road, you would instead go towards the pass. And she says, unfortunately, she does not know where this ghost is. He wanders the land, aimless, tripping over his own shoes. And as for where you will find Strahd, you will find him within his home. So she points again to the castle.
You think that ghost knight could be Sir Rusty? Probably not, right? Right?
Could be.
Possible.
Might not be. Rusty continues to watch the wagon, oblivious to everything that's going on inside this tent. But yes, whatever I can tell you, I will try to tell you. But I cannot see beyond this fortune. I know where you might be able to go. But if you want to defeat Strahd, you will need those items. You will need that ally. Because they will be able to discern a more noticeable weakness of the Lord, the land. And she looks to you, Sorin, for a moment. With his defeat, you'll find your release.
Sorin will just give her a nod.
Okay. She takes another slow drag of her cigarette and then puts it out in a little clay pot next to her. If you need to stay here, you can for the night. But come morning, I don't think you should dilly-dally any longer.
We've got some thinking and planning to do, team.
We spend the night here. We're not going to get teleported somewhere else, right?
Where would we take you? Back here?
I mean, there probably are other weird extra dimensional cursed lands that we could end up on. Like I don't know, something underwater.
Underwater would be interesting, wouldn't it? But no. You've probably just run into one of our other Vistani groups. But we won't take you anywhere, my dear. I promise you that. Go ahead and make an insight check, Jymbo.
Five.
Totally believable. Why would she send you anywhere else?
Yeah, you're not gonna send me anywhere. Did I mention how good you are at fortunes? You were just fantastic.
She smiles and says, I'm the best in the land. Bella's learning, but she's more for horse reading. You'd be surprised what she could do with a strand of hair. You were saying something, Grimm?
Yeah, maybe if we figure out where we want to go, maybe you could teleport us closer to there, because looking on the map, a lot of the places are a long journey away.
Teleport, you think? Oh, you think it's teleportation? Oh my goodness. No. See, earlier I said there are things in which we get involved with and things that we don't. My involvement ends with the cards, my dear boy. I've dropped the breadcrumbs. You just need to follow them.
Fair enough.
Besides, what's an old woman going to do? And she gives this very wide, unnatural smirk.
Oh yeah, one last question. What would happen if you had a vampire about a werewolf? What would you get?
You'd have a vampiric werewolf. Everyone knows that.
Yeah. Could one of those beat Strahd?
Well, if the vampires and the werewolves weren't working for Strahd, then yes.
Ah. Damn.
Anything else, children?
Is there anything else we should know about this land?
Be careful. Be careful who you talk to. Be careful who you trust. Be careful what you're wary of, and most of all, watch your step. The woods are dangerous. The mountains more so. But you come to find that that which is more likely to betray you has forward-facing eyes and a smile. but her smile fades after she says that.
How many more times how many more times would Jymbo have to be bitten in order to start turning?
Well, I would have to see. And she looks to Jymbo to see if he's gonna come any closer so she can check his neck.
Sure, you can check my neck. Just I'll try not to dribble any ichor on you.
And she's like, no, don't worry about it. And you see her wave her hand, and it's as if she prestidigitates the muck away from you for a minute. You know, your leaky wounds. And she uses her pinky nail of her left hand to like tilt your neck up so she can get your chin out of the way. She says, "How much did he take the first time? Was it a big drink?"
I think it was a pretty sizable drink. I can't remember. I was charmed.
I would say maybe 2 to 3 times. But given the size of the puncture marks and how they've been licked over, probably 3 more times. If I were to wager a guess.
What if I would replace my blood partially with holy water? You know what? That's a dumb idea. I take that back.
How would you do that? How would you dialysis holy water into your body, Jymbo?
I mean, it would actually just be like a fluid bolus. You wouldn't really need to dialysize fully, but technically I guess you could. That would be a heck of a system. I don't think Jymbo could rig that up,
especially with medieval technology. Even if we're talking like early steam technology, that's still kind of rudimentary and rough. So yeah, she just kind of shrugs. She wouldn't know. I guess it would be as if he was drinking holy water straight from the tap. I don't know.
Okay, so plan B, we create a simulacrum of me somehow, and we fill it full of holy water, and then have Strahd drink of it. Jymbo, I got it.
Jymbo doesn't know what a locomotive is, but he knows what a simulacrum is.
He reads a lot of books. Unfortunately, none of them are, they're all magical books in the monastery he's at. They're not really hip with steampunk.
Okay. But yeah, that's the information that she gives you on that. She will answer any other questions that you might have. And you are welcome to stay in their camp. This seems to be a more permanent camp for them. Every so often you'll hear one of the wagons like get hitched up and leave, but they only handle their travel and go back and forth to some of the villages to get a few supplies here and there. But for the most part, this is a permanent camp for them. So what do you guys do?
I'd say we rest here for the night and kind of think of a plan on what to do next time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for next time, I just need to know what you guys plan on doing for next time so I can have it ready. I've got a lot of the campaign ready as it is. I just need to shuffle some things around because the way the fortunes of Ravenloft work is that with different draws of cards, different things happen. You know, it might not be in those places for one campaign and they're in another place for those campaigns. So I just have to shuffle a few things around. So for my preparation's sake, I just need to know where you guys might think you're going to head first. Like, are you going to head to Castle Ravenloft and, you know, see if you can find the thing within there because you're so close to Castle Ravenloft? Or are you going to go back to Kresk? Or are you going to head to Solenka Pass? Like, I just need to know what you're doing or where you're going.
I would think Castle Ravenloft would be the last place we go because it's Strahd's home.
True,
Yeah, I
but
was
he
thinking the
wanders the
same thing.
wilderness, though. He wanders the land. He might not always be home.
Yeah, and like at this point, I doubt he would expect us to go there, right?
True.
Before we end things, I would like to go up to Jymbo and say, "Here, let me help you with your curse." And I'm going to actually cast Remove Curse.
Okay. So Remove Curse is going to get rid of all curses affecting one creature or object end. If the object is a cursed magic item, the curse remains if the spell breaks in the owner's attunement. It's very good. It doesn't do anything for his madness and his physical malady, but he is no longer going to suffer from vampirism unless he is bitten again 3 times. So congratulations, Jymbo. No vampirism. You still have seeping wounds and you're still a sycophant. So
I think you cured it. You did a great job.
As Icar's just squirting out.
yeah.
Everyone.
You did such a great job.
You did such a good job. You know, I just can't not like what you've done here. But yeah, just let me know so I know what to plan for next time. Are you guys going to head back to Kresk? Are you going to go to Solenka Pass? Are you going to go to Castle Ravenloft? Or are you going to go anywhere else? You don't have to go looking for those items. Maybe you just decide that you're going to do something completely different. Maybe you look for the ghost that supposedly wanders around too. I'm not sure where he is.
I say we go and set up a business in Vallaki. Just kidding.
Business. Okay, yeah, go for it.
I would personally just suggest the easiest one, seeing as how the Abbey's burnt down. Probably just going back to Kresk.
Okay.
That's just what I think. But
All right.
Yeah, I'd say go to Kresk or the Svalich Pass.
Let's see. So how long would it take us to travel from where we are back to Kresk?
That's exactly what I'm figuring out here. So with horse and cart, you're looking at a couple days. Because it took you to get to the Vistani camp here. It took you most of the day to go from the mill to there. So I'd say 1 day, and that's another day back to Vallaki, another day and a half to the tower, and then another day. So 1, 2.5, 3.5, 4.5. Less than a week, but about 5.5 days. If you go fast and don't take any breaks, you'll get there quicker.
Gotcha. It still has us going back through Vallaki.
that's okay. I can just, make another, or I could just make something else.
Or we could just, instead of going through it, we just skirt around the edge of it.
True.
It'd be a little bit more overland. You could do it. I'm not going to say you can't. You could go overland. It might be rougher because there aren't any roads. You could take yourself up towards the lake, because otherwise you're going to be taking yourselves through the woods. Now, you could, and this is not to beat a dead horse here, but where the mill is,
you could cut straight through. Let me mark this real quick. Where is it? So if I take the little arrow tool and you go this way, cut your way straight across. Just ignore the fact that it's saying it's in feet, because that's not it. That's not correct. You could like cut up this way and then come down this way and then hit the road again, or go back up that way just outside of Vallaki to go across the bridge. Or you could ford the river.
Thinking more of, because they have like a the gate around it, or the wall around it.
Yeah, the palisade
is just go basically around the actual town of Vallaki as much as possible. Like
you
go from here to like there, then back around, and not really go too much overland, but just kind of skirt around that place. As
in fairness to me as a DM, to you guys as the players, they don't know that you've caused a problem in Vallaki. They don't know that you've specifically caused a problem, because the only person who got in any physical conflict was Warren.
Yo.
Warren was the only one who got in any physical conflict with anyone there. Everyone else had been like either hiding or snuck out or around. But given that the village was quote unquote attacked, I'm pretty sure that they're going to be on alert for anything coming close to the walls and not coming through their town.
Okay.
Again, that's just in fairness as me as the DM to you guys, the players. If you want to do that, you are more than welcome to, but I am letting you know that they will be on alert if you are going that close to town without going through town.
Okay.
Yeah, but they weren't fond of us going through town either, so.
They weren't really fond of us skipping the festival.
You could have just stopped it. They weren't fond of you. That's kind of where it ended. They didn't really care for travelers, so thought it was weird. But no, none of those statements are incorrect. They weren't fond of you coming through. They weren't fond of you skipping the festival. They weren't fond of you in general.
So we're gonna make our way back to Kresk and then go to Salinka Pass?
Yeah,
Is that
that's
what
it looks
we're
like.
doing?
Or since you're going that way, you could go to Salinka Pass first. Again, this is up to you guys. If you guys want to go to Kresk first, I endorse any course of action you guys decide to take. I just need to know so I know what to plan for next time.
Well, we're real good friends with the people in Kresk. Maybe they can give us more information about Solinka Pass.
True, they could.
Yeah, we can stop by the winery on the way too as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so
we can stop at the windmill and apologize for exploding the dream pie.
you could do that too. Yeah, you can go to the windmill and apologize. Hey, lady, we know that we screwed up. You brought us a gift, and we decided to immolate it. Okay, so next time you guys will make the long journey back to Kresk, perhaps stopping a place or two along the way. But I think that's a good place to end for the night. I think that's a really good place to end for the night, as you guys have had the fortune read. Unless there's anything else that your characters need to do before we adjourn for the night.
I just have a question, because if we go like nonstop through the night and all that, are we able to like take a full rest on the cart? Or
no, because
no?
it
It is basically like you're doing a forced march. You are working yourselves to the point where none of you are able to get like full rest. If you've got the wagon continuously going, there's no way that you can get proper rest. At least that's the way that the mechanics of it lay out.
We would probably end up getting levels of exhaustion.
You would.
Yeah.
After a while, you guys would start gaining levels of exhaustion. And while you could rest that off once you got somewhere safe, considering how dangerous the wilderness is, if you are caught with levels of exhaustion in the wilderness, that's negative. That's disadvantage on like checks, saves, and eventually as they compound, if you get to a high enough level of exhaustion, you die, obviously.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you could do that. And then it would be a very big risk to do that. But it's 100% possible. You guys don't have access to teleportation magics or transportation magics that outside of like Misty Step and things like that, but you can only do that for so often. And it only affects like one person, so I mean, like I said, it's possible. But that would have to be something that you guys decide to do, if you decide to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Any other
I
questions?
think we just take the 5-day journey and just play it safe.
Yeah.
And then, if need be, if we do end up getting caught in Volaki, I can always create another distraction.
This is true.
I have something way better than a manticore in my head.
That's fair.
Yeah. Yeah, I think once we get to Vlocky, we just stay on a cart and just drive straight through. Don't stop at all.
Could I major image Strahd?
You've seen him, yeah, you could.
Holy crap. I love it.
Could also use the scroll of summon monster and just release the monster and run.
We have a what? You what? When? When did we get a monster scroll?
He's had it in the bag of holding. He
A while
forgot
ago.
about it. He
Yeah.
forgot about it.
What in the world?
Yeah, I got a lot of scrolls in there.
Can I retroactively, identify that real quick?
Yeah.
It's been identified before.
Yeah, it was identified
has
before,
it?
yeah.
So it's just a scroll summon monster,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
but we don't know what monster.
It'll be enough of a distraction to get away, I bet.
I mean, technically, summon monster 1. Let me check the. I'm gonna check it here. So, summon monster. You summon a challenge rating half creature of the monstrosity type that appears in an unoccupied space. So it's it's a challenge rating half creature, whatever it is, and as long as it's a monstrosity, I guess you choose what it is. That's wild.
Okay.
I mean, it's not going to be a super tough creature. It's not going to be a super imposing creature, but it's at least a creature. But yeah, so that sounds like a plan. You guys are gonna try to head back to Krez, take the 5-day journey. And if anything changes, obviously we'll make that change on the road. So as far as we know, does anything conflict with next week? Anything conflict with next week, everybody?
I should be okay.
No.
It should be okay.
Nothing as far as I can tell.
Okay, I'm gonna go through everybody one at a time, so we're not talking over one another. That's my bad. I apologize. Soren, are you gonna be okay for next week, or?
I should be good.
Okay, if anything changes, let me know. Obviously, everybody. Warren.
I'm good.
Jymbo.
I am fine.
Grimm.
I should be okay.
Araza.
Yes, I should be good.
All right, fantastic. So we will we'll resume next week, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, barring any other any outside influence. Players, I hope you enjoyed yourselves tonight. I know it was a very roleplay heavy session. There wasn't a lot of combat other than Warren getting slugged in the face by a guy that's built like a tank. So players, thank you so much. Chat, thank you guys for being here. I'm gonna go ahead and do the outro thing here, so I'm gonna go ahead and mute Discord, guys. If you have to go, if you have to depart, don't hang out if you don't have to. But I'll be back in chat after we figure everything else out, and then I will have everyone's tokens updated next week. I promise that too. I will also have a token for Gregory the Grig. I'll get him made up so that way we have him for the Summon Fae. And if I need to do any small amounts of altering or editing to anything, let me know, and then I'll make sure that we have them all ready for next time. But beyond that, guys, that's session 10. That's session 10. So thank you all. Thank you. I was talking to my players and they're not talking back to me, and I feel like this is just a normal thing. Not
No, it's okay, Joe. I had fun.
Right.
I look forward to next
Yeah, it was
session.
fun.
I had a lot of fun.
All right, guys.
Me too. I'm either quiet or I'm talking over everyone, so I try not to do both.
I mean, I'm sitting here looking at the map going, okay, if we hit Crest first, and we go down here, and then maybe we'll go over here.
You guys can feel free to plan it. Feel free to plan it. If you need to log in and check it in the meantime, it will be on this page, so do not worry. So you can always check that and make your plans how you need to. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and mute you guys in Discord. You guys, thank you again for playing, and I will see you guys next week. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to send me a message. All right?
All right. Thank you.
No problem. Bye, guys.
Thank you, chat.
Oh, bye. Bye, chat.
All right, everybody, they're muted. All right, that was a fantastic session. I really enjoyed that. One more time, let me give some thanks here from the very start. Sunshine, thank you for resubscribing for 6 months at tier 1. You've been subscribed for 27 months. That is a long time. Thank you so much. Druid, thank you for the raid. Vlad, thank you for redeeming first. And Ghoulie, thank you for the raid. So guys, we're gonna go ahead and find someone else to raid into. Who can we raid into? Actually, I believe that how long has he been streaming for? He's been streaming for 12 hours. Oh no, he's ending his stream. He's ending his stream, so that's okay. Well, maybe not. Maybe we won't raid in there. Let's see. Oh man, who can we drop in on, guys? This is the hardest part of streaming. Is finding out who to raid into. Let's do. I'll make it quick. I haven't raided into Cherry in forever. Guys, we're gonna... Ooh, I can raid into Sorin.
Good night, Alice. Good night. Thank you so much. Yeah, we're gonna raid into Sorin. I haven't raided into Sorin in a while. Looks like she is doing some just chatting. So we're gonna raid into Sorin. She's a good VTuber friend of mine. So friends, we're gonna go with a good old-fashioned Viking raid. If you don't have my emotes, use whatever emotes you have. Just be polite, read the room, and as always, please be polite to the streamer we're about to drop in on. They might be in the middle of something and may not be able to respond right away. I'm sure they'll get to us if they can when they can. If you like the streamer's content, please give them a follow. If you really like their content, give them a subscribe. You're not required to do either, but do remember follow is free. So guys, we're gonna drop it on Sorin. I will be back Sunday with City of Heroes, and then Monday with Isle of Lost Tides. So in the meantime, please stay safe, eat well, stay hydrated. I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.